everybody. Today my grandma is going to show you how to do the compass blossom pattern on the 3x3 barn quilt.
Great job, Sophie.
Thank you.
Alright, first tool you need is you need to take a yardstick and you're going to drill a hole at every inch. Except somewhere on it you're going to go a half inch. And you'll see where that comes into play in a little bit. It's the best thing in the world for making circles. Okay? And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 4x4 yardstick, which is not long enough to reach corner to corner. So I have to get my longer one for just a moment to find the center of my board. And you take this for going corner to corner.
Now you don't always have to use one. You have to sometimes switch off depending on the size.
Okay. And then you're going to make a little X here. Oops, sorry, Sophie.
That's fine.
And to this corner to here, we're going to find our center. So that's it right there. We got a little X mark there. Now the first step we're going to do is we're going to make our circle. And as you can see, the compass blossom has one circle, second inner circle, and another little defining circle. So I'm going to get, stay right there, Sophie, a little paintbrush.
Tiny. It's tiny.
I'm going to stick it through any hole on my yardstick. And I'm going to make my outer circle. And just for guesstimation, I'm going to stick it right here, which brings it in about an inch from the edge. And my barn quilt's on a Lazy Susan. So I'm just going to take this and bring it around. I'm going to lift up to move it out of my way. Put it right back in. Continue my circle around as such.
Until you make a whole entire circle.
Yep.
This might be a little bit hard if your barn quilt ain't on a Lazy Susan like ours.
That's true. Okay. Now, for my other circle, my inner circle, it comes in, and I don't have a specific measurement for this, but I'm going to come in about 2 inches. So for my other circle, I'm going to come in 2 inches. I'm going to do the same thing.
So just an inner circle of your outer circle?
Mm-hmm. There we go. And now as you can see here, it's got a little band around it. This is where my half inch comes in. Can you zoom in, Sophie? Right here's my half inch.
The double circle.
Okay. So I'm going to put it on my 1 inch and come back a half inch. Find my center again. See how easy that makes my inner circle?
Ooh. Fancy.
Fancy. It's real technical.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this in a red colored pencil. I use the Crayola pencils
Weezer,
because they're easy to erase.
Weezer, did they know what the white stuff is?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And what you did to the
Yep.
nails
Before it's
and stuff?
prime, they know that. Okay, so now
Nails and stuff.
I prefer to use my yardstick that's 36 inches, be it a yard, just because it's not so heavy to maneuver around. And I'm going to take my center point here and come to the corner, and I'm going to do this. Okay. Swing my. It's very important that you just, if you're using a Lazy Susan, I make the same mark every time, no matter what pattern I'm drawing off. And later on, I will do an apple spice pattern, since my videographer is here. Okay. And this gives me my cross points for my compass. Simple enough.
Yay!
Okay. Now, I need to find the center of my board all the way around. So we're going to go
Ignore
18
that.
inches, 18 inches, 18 inches,
Spin the board.
and 18 inches. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come, you can do this all the way across now. Put your mark across, goes to the middle, and you're going to go all the way across. Here again, spin my board, make the same mark again.
So just, it's kind of like drawing a pizza and then cutting it into slices.
Right, the slices of our pizzas. Now we have to do our points here, okay? So to do that, you take this point here up to this corner. See, you go from here to here. Follow that? But I'm only going to make one mark. That line. I'm going to go from this piece of the pie, as Sophie called it, down to here. I'm going to move my board around. I'm going to do
It just makes it
the
easier.
exact same thing again.
It just makes it easier to explain when you have something to call it.
There you go. Same thing.
And there
As you can see, I'm making the same mark all the way around. Getting in this habit will keep you from making lots of mistakes. Point, point. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is complete my points. I'm going to go completely the opposite direction. And finish. This is called your prominent star, which is your forward star. And it's important that you complete this one first, because everything else is based off points off of this one.
You can see it turned into a star. Imagine it.
Okay. Now we got to do these points. So I'm going to turn my board, and I'm going to take this point, it's going to match up with this line all the way across. Now a lot of people draw this line across and then they have all this in here to erase. If you're painting with a light color, you have to, and sometimes the pencil lines will bleed through, so I try to not make any marks that I'm going to ever have to erase. So you line this up, same thing. Move it around.
What if you do have to erase? It's fine.
Yeah, but it's less work. It makes them quicker to do. See how my my secondary points are coming into play?
When you need to do 1,000 barn quilts, you don't really have time to erase.
Yeah, I think we're over 3,000, so my favorite thing is drawing them off. It doesn't take me long to draw one off. Okay, so now, same thing. This point has to be completed, and it matches up with this. So you're going to lay your ruler across. Bring it on across. Same thing, just move your board around. I'll walk around your table if you've got a stationery, and bless your heart, I hate that for you. Okay. If I had Sophie here, I'd do this for everyone I draw off, but I don't. It's hard to videotape yourself where you can see. Okay, so there's my secondary star.
You could get it.
So now,
hang it up.
we need these points. These points are based on your center point, cross it over to here. Alright? So you line up with your center point, you come across, and we'll move the yardstick to this side so you can see it better. Your center point to where these two points converge. And I can't draw from the left side because I'm right-handed. So you come on out. That's the center of this point. Same thing. Just keep bringing your board along. Okay. By this time you probably figured it all out by now, except all these little points here. You're probably still wondering how those are done. Well, And at the end, I'll quickly show you how to tape off your circle and trim it out to paint it.
What's that take? Like 10 minutes?
Because I get a lot of questions about that. Okay. So here we go. We're completing our points around. Simple enough. Alright, now we're going to need to make these points. So basically, you want to take your yardstick at your corner of the board and move it up. See what I did? I came to this point and it matched up to this point. So here again, some people would make the line all the way across. That's just a lot of erasing. Okay? See I made that line? Then we'll come to the next one and just move it around to your next point that needs completing. And we'll keep moving all around. And like all your Barn Quilt patterns, if you make your exact same mark and you keep moving around, your pattern will come together and you don't even realize it till it's done. No matter how complicated the pattern.
Star.
There you go.
Besides the non-paintings, what?
Now, see how we completed that point? We just keep coming around. Bring it up to here.
Besides that it's not painted, it looks almost exactly the same besides the other bits of pattern and the non-paints.
Sorry about that.
Looks
folks.
exactly
Got that line
the
off
same.
A little bit. My pencil needs sharpening. I go through some pencils. Try and do this in a dark red though so you can see it well. Alright, there you go.
I can see.
So now, next thing we have is these little stars here. Give me little points. Same thing. We're going to line up from the middle to here.
The point's right there.
Okay? And that's going to be my outer point. So I'm just going to make a little mark here. Can you see that, Sophie? That little mark there?
Right there. See it?
Okay? And then my other one is going to be here. Just continuing out to that point. Center, out. And you can pause it for just a minute, Sophie, and I'm going to go around and do this. You just come to the point of every point and then in between it. Because it'll take just a minute. Did you pause it?